chat.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Nicholas Earle, and welcome back to another edition of Earle Sports Bets. And today, got more Counter-Strike to go over for today. We get the last couple games of the first round, and then we get some second round action, I believe, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, we have some elimination matches as well tomorrow.
Yeah, so that should be interesting there. So how was today in Counter-Strike, and what do you think about today?
Today I had plays in 5 out of the 6 games. For the morning game, for my 2 plus money bets, which was Mousesports, which plus 200, and Furia, which was a plus 135. Both of them lost, unfortunately. I did have G2 sweeping, which was a plus 159. I did have I had Nip, and then I had Big. Nip and Big. Those were my 2 winners, along with G2 sweeping. Overall, just a solid day. 3-2, up 1.59 units. We're now up almost. If you see my record, we're 15-5. If you guys want all my plays, follow me on Twitter. I post them in the morning. 15-5 this entire tournament. I'm up almost 11 units. So I'm excited to get into the slate and keep the winnings going.
Absolutely. Should be a fun for today, as we have 5 games, 6 games,
6 games again.
6 games. Yeah, I'm just kind of stalling because I'm trying to get to the spot on the sports book where the odds are. Here we go. Early markets, July 9th. We are going to kick it off here with Astralis and FaZe. Astralis a minus 122, plus 100. The opposite way with FaZe. Astralis minus 1.5 maps, plus 242. FaZe plus 1.5, minus 333. If you want to take them the opposite way, minus 1.5, it's a plus 249. Kind of interesting seeing that number there, actually. Because you notice that the minus 1.5s are 242 and 249, but Astralis is a minus 122 and FaZe is a plus 100. So kind of interesting there. Where are you looking at for this match?
Yeah, this one's the numbers are close because this one's supposed to be close. When I first started looking at this game, this was a minus 110 pick'em. Money has come in on Astralis, and I'm going against that. I'll be on FaZe tomorrow. Looking at it, FaZes just look really solid on LAN, like we thought they would. They just were not good in the online era. That really hurt them a lot. They've been going through a bunch of changes. Apparently, bringing back the old legend of Olaf has propelled them to, so far, a 3-0 start in IEM Cologne. They were able to beat Evil Geniuses in the first round of play-ins. Were able to sweep Complexity in the second round of play-ins. This FaZe team looks good. I'm quite impressed with them, and they just look overall solid. On the other side, you get Astralis, who, yes, I know they have been going through some changes, adding Bubsky. A bunch of players are questioning their longevity there. Even Zonic, the coach, is questioning leaving when his contract is up, which all their contracts are up by the end of the year. So it's a very questionable state in the Astralis household. But this team's a LAN team. They were the best team in the world for a reason. Obviously, it's not the same team that it was. No longer having Device, who's been one of the most consistent players in the world. But I have to go FaZe with this one. Astralis has lost 4 out of their last 5 games. Their only win in their last 5 was against Extra Salt, which I can't really put much money on that one. They have losses in their last 5 to Heroic, Big, Fun Plus Phoenix, and Gambit. They're just not playing well, and I'll go to the side that's been playing well. So I'll take FaZe in this matchup.
Alrighty, moving on to our next matchup here, we have Heroic taking on Team Spirit. You can get Heroic for a minus 192, plus 149 the other way for Team Spirit. Heroic at minus 1.5 maps, plus 156. On the opposite side, the plus 1.5 maps for Team Spirit is a minus 204, minus 1.5 maps for Team Spirit, plus 386. Team Spirit coming through the qualifiers. I believe they knocked out Sprout to qualify. So they've had a little bit of a journey to make it into this spot. Heroic's been sitting there waiting for a team, kind of like we saw with Gambit today, and kind of like what we're seeing with G2 as well. But what are we looking at for this one?
I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to go Spirit tomorrow. Big thing right now for it is Heroic hasn't played a competitive match in 5 weeks. Their last competitive match was against NIP, which they lost. I believe what tournament was that in? Well, actually, they won't give me that, of course. But they haven't played. Actually, hold on, they might. IEM Summer was the last time Heroic played, and they got swept by NIP. I just think this team comes in rusty. I'd rather go ahead and grab that plus 149 with Team Spirit. I think it's a solid spot for them. Spirit's coming into this one pretty strong. They did knock out Sprout. They had a win against MIBR in the play-ins, and they had a loss against Vitality, which Vitality has looked really, really good throughout this first 5 games that they've played in IEM Cologne. So can't really shame that one. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at a Spirit to get the job done tomorrow against Heroic.
All right, sounds good here. Going with the underdog, you can always talk me into some plus money. You think the dogs are barking a little bit today so far? 2 underdogs to pick to start it off, and now we're moving on to Gambit taking on NIP here. Gambit a minus 196 favorite, plus 152 the other way with the Ninjas in pajamas. You can get Gambit minus 1.5 maps at plus 150. On the opposite side, minus 196 for NIP, plus 1.5 maps. Minus 1.5 maps for NIP is a plus 386. Who's taking this one?
You said 2 dogs? I'm thinking 3 dogs. I grabbed NIP already. Once again, NIP has just looked solid throughout this entire tournament. They took care of LDLC in the play-ins. They swept Mousesports in the play-ins. This morning, they lost the first map to Liquid and then proceeded to reverse sweep them. This NIP team is looking good. Device is looking solid. Rez is looking solid. This overall team has just been looking really good. And looking at the Gambit side, they did win today. Yes, they won 2-1 in a match that they could have easily lost. They could have easily lost to Mousesports today, which is not as good as the team. I feel like NIP is a better team than Mousesports. I think NIP ends up taking it tomorrow. I think it'll be a close one, maybe a 3-mapper, but I will be going with the underdogs of the Ninjas in pajamas.
If you're saying you like this potentially to go 3 maps, over 2.5 is a plus 103.
I'd rather go to NIP.
Fair enough. Do you just not look at totals for these at all, or
not really? I feel like that's I mean, you can look at them, but I'd rather just look at the teams in general.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, moving on to our next matchup here. We get Team Liquid and Mousesports here. Mousesports coming in at a minus 200, plus 155 the other way for Team Liquid. The minus 1.5 for Mousesports is a plus 150. The plus 1.5 the opposite way for Team Liquid. Minus 196. Plus 386 if you want Liquid on the minus 1.5 line. What are we looking at for this one?
Yeah, this Liquid team is not where they need to be. They came into this very rusty. We saw that with them getting reverse swept against NIP. And they just have not played in a while, and they're just coming into this rusty. Mousesports has been looking solid. Yes, they lost to Gambit today. That was a very close and competitive series. They swept EG in the play-ins. They beat Bad News Bears pretty good in the play-ins. They got swept by NIP, but once again, NIP's a very strong team right now. I'm going Mousesports to sweep. I'm not laying the minus 200. Sorry. I'm not laying the NIP minus 200. I don't think that's a good idea. I never lay more than minus 150 juice. I'd rather just take Mousesports to sweep. That's at a plus 150. I think that's an overall solid line. And I'll be grabbing Mousesports to sweep tomorrow against Team Liquid.
All righty. All right, 2 more matchups to look over for this. We are now heading over to G2 taking on Big. G2 a minus 141 for this game, plus 111 the opposite way with Big. You can get G2 on the minus 1.5 line at plus 202. Plus the plus 1.5 on the opposite way with Big is a minus 270. Plus 293 if you want Big, minus 290 or minus 1.5 maps. Are we looking at a big win tomorrow, or are we looking more towards G2?
Both of these teams have been playing really, really good lately. Big having a solid start to IEM Cologne, going 5-0, beating Sprout in the single map best of 1. First round, sweeping OG, sweeping Vertigo Pro today. It's just been a very solid spot for Big in this tournament. But I'm going G2. I think G2 is ultimately in better form right now. They came in to this series and today against Complexity, and they swept them. Most of the games weren't even competitive for that one. We saw a very, very good 2-0 sweep. Vertigo, which was Complexity. Yeah, it was Complexity's pick today. Vertigo, that one was the 16-14. 16-6 on Dust 2. G2 is going to get the job done tomorrow. Ultimately, just a solid spot for G2 tomorrow. I know it's a minus 141, but I'll go G2 for tomorrow.
What do you think about the G2 minus 1.5 line at plus 202? You think they have potential to sweep tomorrow?
Oh, they always have potential to sweep. Except for this big team. I feel like this one's going to be more of a 3-mapper. I'd rather just take G2 straight out. Big has just been playing really solid to get swept now.
Over 2.5, minus 105.
I still like the G2 spot.
Fair enough. I'm just throwing different lines at you here. See your thoughts on them. Based on what you're saying, I'm seeing, hey, this could be another spot as well. If you don't want to bet G2, you can look at the lesser juice of maybe the over 2.5 for that one.
But I don't want to. If I don't take G2 and take the over, and then all of a sudden G2 sweeps, and I lose the bet. So
yeah, that's fair.
I like G2 the spot tomorrow. I'm just going to go G2.
All right. Finishing off the slate here with one last matchup, we have Complexity and Vertigo Pro. Complexity at minus 141 for this matchup, plus 111 the opposite way of Vertigo Pro. So same odds as the last game here with G2. And it's the exact same, I believe the exact same odds here for the map lines as well. Minus 1.5 maps for Complexity, plus 202. The opposite side, minus 270 for the plus 1.5 maps, plus 293 for minus 1.5 for Vertigo Pro. Are we looking at a rather complex game here, or are we looking at VP?
I'm going to Complexity. This Vertigo Pro team has struggled. They really, really have. Sorry, my throat's all messed up. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. They got swept badly against Big today. Yakindo was the only one that really looked good. All the other guys have just really been struggling. So I feel like this one's one of the more easier spots. Yes, Complexity just got swept against G2, and they got swept against FaZe in this tournament. I still think Complexity has the upper hand against Vertigo Pro. Complexity is in a little bit of better form than VP is, and I just think that this is overall just a solid spot for Complexity.
Alrighty then. All right, so those are the games for tomorrow for the Counter-Strike slate. Quick little recap. Tim likes FaZe at plus 100. He's looking at dogs. Here's Team Spirit plus 149. Nip plus 152. He's looking at Mousesports on the map line, minus 1.5 maps. So basically to sweep at plus 150. And then finishing off the day with 2 favorites with G2 Esports and Team Complexity. Anything else you want to say before we head on out here?
Oh, that should do it. 15-5 start, up almost 11 units. So hopefully we can keep the winning going till tomorrow.
Absolutely. And any people out there paying attention to the baseball slate, Great start to our over in Washington and San Diego. It is currently 3-0 Nationals in the top of the first inning. So a good start to that one there. But that I just wanted to put that out there real quick. But that's going to just about wrap up the show. If this information was helpful to you guys at all, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on those post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we go live here on ESB, which is every single morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also go live here at night for IEM Cologne Counter-Strike content for you degenerates here looking at action for the morning. I just want to see your reaction there. But that's going to just about wrap it up for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here by my brother, Tim. And we want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. And good luck.
Good luck, guys. Thank you.